guys, welcome to the Millionaire Penny Coach show. Today we're going to talk about a Reddit post someone had a question about. So we want to address that, and we hope this Reddit person will find us and check out our response. We're going to tell them to in Reddit. Okay, go ahead, Andrew.
All right. We got a question. This user said they just got a divorce. They said we paid off our credit card debt and split a loan. He said that his portion of the loan is $11,500. He says he has $11,500 in savings as well. He also mentions he's able to save $4,000 a month living with his parents. He says, I need a new car, and the one I want is $40,000.
Keyword, I want.
The one he wants.
I want. You'll never satisfy all your wants. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And so his question is, he says, should I use my $11,500 to pay off my loan, or a down payment on the car, or wait? He also mentions, or buy now and pay $4,000 per month, in which I'm assuming maybe taking over and having to pay for housing, because that's what he mentions he pays for housing with his parents. Or what he saves is $4,000 a month. So he's got $11,500 debt, car, or
just
house.
recently divorced too.
Recently divorced.
Okay, there's a lot of information we really need to know here. You know, we're the Millionaire Penny Coach course. We're the Millionaire Penny Coach. We want to know a lot more things like what's his age, what's his financial goals, what kind of job does he have, what kind of income does he have. Is it seasonal income or is this permanent income? Is there a chance for raises and everything? We need to know his investments and what's his financial plan here? Does he have a financial plan? Does he have a 401k? Is he contributing to this? Many different other variables we would like to know here, okay? Mm-hmm. But just going on what we're hearing, first of all, you know, he said one thing that jumped out at me is, and I'll address this and you can chime in wherever you see. He said, I want a $40,000 vehicle. One of the keys in our course and our program and on our videos we talk about over and over. Guess how much of your desires you can satisfy if you try to meet them all the time? You can't. You cannot, because guess what? When you buy this $40,000 vehicle, 6 months later, you're going to see something nicer and newer. You got to develop a plan, a financial foundation. You got to lay it there. You know, it's different if you have to have a vehicle to drive at work or do certain jobs or whatever that you can't. But I'm assuming you have a vehicle that works now too. And we look at our Millionaire Penny Coach in some of our videos. We talk about, you know, getting a vehicle and financing it and understanding opportunity costs versus, you know, pay what else you could do with that money. And that's what opportunity costs are. Because we talk about financing a vehicle right around $40,000. And you know what that vehicle and opportunity would cost you by the time you're age 67? Now this is assuming you're age 30. We don't know this guy's age. I wish I did. If he did this at age 30, at age 67, in opportunity costs alone, that $40,000 vehicle would cost him $3,765,000. The interest on that amount alone each and every year would be over $335,000 a year. Now this is a mind-blowing concept that you can't even wrap your heads around without more knowledge of your age and how much you have access to. Because if you're younger than age 30, all of a sudden that opportunity cost skyrockets. Why? Why does it go from $3,700,000 at age 30 to say you're age 25, you just went through this divorce and everything? Why does it go up so much, more than that, Andrew?
Because it had a lot more time in the market.
Compound interest. You do not understand the power and the leverage of compound interest. I want guys to understand that if you take those same dollars and you put them to work for you, you're creating golden geese. Golden geese. What do golden geese do?
Lay golden eggs.
Lay golden eggs. That's what we want our students to do. We want you to build assets, not create liabilities for yourself. You got a personal balance sheet. One side is assets over here minus the liabilities equals the net worth. If you can build assets, golden geese that lay eggs each and every month, and you can add to the number of those golden eggs then have more geese and more geese. And if you can build those geese up, guess what? Then all of a sudden this I want stuff, I want a $40,000 vehicle. At a certain age, when you have assets producing you more than what that car cost, that's when you can go write a check for it. That's where you want to be financially. You don't want to be, I want to create payments for myself. I want to take this $11,500. Should I pay off this debt or should I pay down on a car? That's the wrong mindset. You need to rechange the way you see finances. You need to go to watch our YouTube videos. You need to listen to us. You need to understand the 3 basics. Number 1, pay yourself first. Number 2, live below your means. And number 3, build cash reserves. And then we're going to talk about building assets. We're going to talk about building those golden geese. Okay? I'm just looking at this. What are you thinking about that $11,500?
Well, I think it depends on a few things, like you said. Like what maybe his interest rate is on it. Because, like if it's a high interest rate, it might pay to go ahead and get it. But let's just say if he's talking about maybe having to finance something on a vehicle, and that's a low interest rate, you might be better off to get to put that towards a vehicle because your interest will be higher on that, depending on which is which. So.
Right. So what I'm looking at this right after base, man, you can save $4,000 a month when you're living with your parents. In 10 months, you'd have $40,000 to pay for that vehicle. But you could take that same $40,000, put it in the market, and depending on your age, that money could be worth over $3 million later on. Okay? You have a car now. What's wrong with the car you have? We don't have that information here. But you got $11,500 in savings and you got a loan of $11,500. And like Andrew said, is that loan, is the interest rate 23% or is the interest rate 3.5%? Well, if your savings is earning you 3.5%, then I say if that interest rate, pay off the debt. Now let's work and redo our way of thinking and learning about assets versus liabilities and building cash reserves and creating our own personal balance sheet and establishing a financial goal. I don't care what your age is. You're only going to get so many paychecks for the rest of your life. It is up to you to understand that the first thing I have to do with that paycheck is pay myself first. How do we do that? We put that in our retirement, our pre-tax dollars retirement plans, like 401ks, like Roth IRAs, those kind of things, pre-tax, like your 401k or any pensions that your company may have. You need to establish a financial basis. $11,500 is great to have in savings, and you got debt matching that same amount. It's up to me. I would probably say I want to get rid of that debt and I want to build my cash reserves. Because if I can save $4,000 a month living with my parents, I need to really look at this. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of assets. That's a lot of golden geese you could be building and buying right now to work for you night and day, in the form of dividend stocks, in the form of real estate, in the form of what else?
Anything flipping you wanted to do, or
flipping land, flipping properties. There's so much you can do with that money, but you need to understand the basics of growing wealth and building wealth. And you've got a lot of money and a lot of access to money here, but you got to develop a plan. You got to have a process. We got to know your income. We got to know what your retirement goals are. What are you looking for? If you use that $11,500 to go pay down on a $40,000 vehicle, that's not a smart move to me. You know, I'm wanting you to build your personal balance sheet and your assets, but you've got to develop a plan. You can't just go living like, hey, what I want this. You know, you want a car now, you're going to want a vacation later. But what kind of assets are you building to take care of your wants? We want our assets to pay for our wants. That's where you want to get to. That's true financial freedom. When you're at the income and the wealth that your assets produce pays for your current living expenses, including your wants, that's where you want to end up. That's where we want you to get to. And that's why we tell you, hey, go to our Millionaire Penny Coach, watch the videos, learn the financial principles that we established. $40,000 vehicle, you said in your Reddit post, I want. We never get through with our wants. What we got to take care of is the basic needs. We got to establish that budget. You know, we got to be able to say, hey, this is my budget, this is my financial goals, this is my budget, and this is what I want to allocate to those. And build a financial plan. I'm going to tell you one of the truest investments I think he could make. If I had this kind of income, I'm saying he's at least making $60,000 a year. If he can save $4,000 a month and living with his parents, he's at least making $60,000 a year. With that $60,000, you should be able to establish incredible financial assets, a credible base, incredible financial foundation to build your financial future. I would suggest to you strongly, go to the Millionaire Penny Coach course. Go to our videos, go to our website, sign up, join my program. If I cannot get you $1,979 in value just like that, then I'll refund your money. But I believe we will increase your assets. You will learn more than that $1,979 investment over and over and over again. So many of you guys are out there, you have no clue on financial assets minus liabilities equal your net worth. You have no financial goals. You need to establish these financial goals. You need to understand these financial precepts and these foundations where you can build your own financial plan. And that's what we help you do in our course. We show you that, hey, you've got to establish this. What's your age? What's your income level? What's your job status? What's your employment status? And we try to help you build a entire financial plan around that. So you're just not taking your $11,500 that you come across. You need to invest in yourself too. You need to read books. You need to do these things because I don't know what happened with your divorce, but it sounds like you guys were going into debt big time. If you had credit cards you had to spend, and now you finish your marriage with $22,000 worth of debt. Obviously you were making poor financial choices, and now you're able to save $4,000 a month. Yeah, that leaves a bad taste in your mouth about marriage too.
But that set aside, I think it leaves them in a unique opportunity to really start over, and do right, especially if you can start with a clean slate and saving $4K a month. That's a pretty good spot to be in to start over, I think,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You need a mentor. You need a coach. Go to my program, sign up, and let's make this happen. Come join us today. We'd love to have you. Any other questions you come about with, Andrew? Mel, you have any?
Not today.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again when we dive into our personal finances. Thank you.